Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope that you're feeling well. Today we will learn something about introductions to translation studies, which is your subject. And our today's topic is types of translation and also the definition of translation. So as you already know about the exact definition of translation, that translations means when you want to convey, to convert, to transfer the meaning of a text of one language or from one language to another, then this is called translation. And the language which you are going to translate is called source language. And the language into which you want to translate something is called target language. So it means that when you are going to translate something or some text of the source language into the target language, then this is called translation. So simply put, translation means to convert, to convey, to transfer the meaning of uh, the source language to the target language is called translation. So it is very easy, the translation as far as the translation of the definition of translation is concerned. But translation is itself is too much difficult task. It means that you will have to have command over both the language. For example, if you are converting, if you are translating English into Urdu or Urdu into English, then it means that you will have a strong vocabulary of both the language. You should be wide and great reader of both the language so that you cannot have any kind of difficulty in conveying the exact and clear meaning to the person. Now come to the types of translation. So first of all, let us discuss something about literary translation. So novels, dramas, stories, short stories, and poetry, plays, okay, comes in the ambit of literary translation. But this is the highest form of translation, and it is not a child play. It is the most difficult work because you will have to study the whole gamut of human experience. If you are no experience, especially of human nature, so then it will be difficult for you to convey the exact translation of one language to into the other language. Because after all, you are conveying or transferring the experiences, the feelings and the emotions, and also the personality or the individuality of the writer to other people. So for this purpose, you will also feel the same things in your own heart and mind, and also you will have to study the writer behind that literary piece of writing. Especially when we come to poetry translation, then it is the most difficult work as compared to other genres. For example, if you are going to translate some poems, some piece of poetry, so you will have to face rhyming words, rhythms, metaphors, similes, comparison, and also puns and idioms. And they all create some kind of difficulties for the translator, because you cannot have some kind of rhyming word as is present in the source language. So it means that you will have to read widely both the languages if you want to be translated of those two languages. Next, joke. As we know that whenever we convert or we translate any joke of the source language into the target language, then most of the jokes lose its color and its beauty, and the people are unable to enjoy, and they are unable to enjoy it completely and thoroughly. Now, individuality. Because we all know that there is a charming personality of the writer, of the author behind every literary piece of writing. So if you want to convey the exact meaning, the exact translations to the people, the reader, then first of all, you will have to read rather profoundly and deeply the writers and the author's personality, his background, his education, his IQs, his disposition, mean mizaj, and so on. And after that, you will be able to convey the exact meaning of his writing. Otherwise, you will be feeling a lot of difficulties, because to know and to learn about any piece of writing, you should first of all read the personality, the author, and the writing behind that. Now come to next one, technical translation. So as you know that whenever we purchase any kind of equipment, any kind of electronic gadgets, laptop, computers, mobile, or anything else, then we are offered some kind of manuals, or which is called user guides. So you know that they instruct the readers and the purchasers in both the languages, so that he can understand the use of that technology well and in a better way. So for this purpose, you will have to read thoroughly user guides, manuals, and help text, which is often can be found there in the form of leaflet and industrial booklets, training materials, and also all kind of these stuff. So you should read all of these things so that you can come to know that what is technical translation. And when you will read these translation together side by side, then you will come to know that what kind of methodology, what kind of words and ways are adopted by the translator. So this is also not so much easy work, because sometimes we have one word in one language and a totally different word in the other language. So therefore, it is better that you should convey exactly the same ideas which is found or which can be found into the source language. And for this purpose, if you want to be a technical translator, then you should learn something about the manufacturing process, the products, and also you should study and read science, engineering, and also the latest technology. Then you will come to know about the different terms, because now there are many technical words that cannot be translated in our own native language, Urdu. For example, mobile. So maybe there is no specific Urdu word for this gadget. So then you will have to use the same word while translating English into Urdu. So the best way to learn about technical translation is to read a lot of user guides and manuals. Next, the third one is judicial translation. As you know that this is about court affairs, so judgments, cases, criminal cases, and court documents, witness testimonies, mean जो गवाहों की शहादतें होती हैं, witness testimonies. You will write about all of these, and you will have to translate all of these cases into either English or into Urdu. But most of the time, because we are living in an uneducated, illiterate community, so people comes to us with these English documents, which is handed down to them by the court persons, and then they are unable to read them. So then you people are expected and supposed to at least translate them into their own native language, national language, Urdu. So for this purpose, you should study some kind of court-related documents and cases, so that you can come to know about some basic vocabulary and some new words, which is most of the time used in judicial translation. Next, medical translation. This is rather much more difficult, because if you will make just a small mistake, then your small mistake can lead to big risk. So therefore, your translation as far as medicine is concerned, so you should be too much careful and too much tricky as far as this medical translation is concerned, because after all, you will have to study patient and disease and product related ideas, and then you will have to convey and to convert and to transfer those ideas into their own either national or into their regional or native language, because most of the people are unable to understand the basic medical term. So therefore, you will have to devise, you will have to coin, you will have to use such kind of words for the layman, for illiterate, for uneducated people, so that they can understand it according to their own environment. So your language should be too much clear to avoid any kind of misunderstanding, because if you yourself is unable to understand the exact meaning, exact idea behind that patient, product, or disease related idea, so then it means that you will not be able to convey the exact idea and the clear message. So your small mistake can lead to misunderstanding, and in medical sense, misunderstanding and your small mistakes can lead to big risk. And so therefore, you should be too much careful. So for this purpose, you should use a dictionary, concise Oxford dictionary or advanced Oxford learner dictionary to clear the meaning of any word. So this is the simplest way of understanding something about medical translation is that we see different kind of leaflets and small pamphlets and also some kind of directions on the box, on the bottle, and on the medicine. So you should study it, and then you should understand that what is the exact meaning of these or those words. So for this purpose, you should study labels, packaging, the instructions most of the time written on those boxes and bottles, so that you can come to know that how these ideas can be conveyed to illiterate person, because in Pakistan, at least 70 or 60% people are illiterate or uneducated. So they are unable to even to understand the instructions, the basic instructions written on those bottles. So therefore, the other thing is that you should learn the basic terminology related to medical science, which is used in your own country. So it means that you should understand, or you should try to understand in countries terminologies that you use for those kind of words. For example, if I will write just one word for you people, this dangar. So the meaning of dangar in Saraiki is animal, and the meaning of Pashto of this word is weak, kamzor. तो पश्तो में डंगर कमजोर को कहते हैं और सराइकी में एनिमल को कहते हैं. So if a Pashto speaker will come to you that the doctor said to me that your child is mean dangar. Okay, so it means that he will not be conveying this idea that he is saying that my child is animal, but here dangar mean kamzor, so he will be conveying the meaning of that my child is weak. So therefore, your slight mistake can cause a big risk. So therefore, try your best to understand the medical terms and terminology so that you can at least save human life. Otherwise, your misunderstanding of the terms and the basic words of medical science can lead to big danger. I hope that you will have understood something out of this lecture. Hope for the best. Thank you very much.